Hello, good evening. It's Miriam Freer from Enyo UK. So whether you're going to watch me live or whether you are on catch up, then welcome, as we are on already, would you believe, look at this, episode 32. It's the 19th of October, and today we are indeed sitting by the fireside right here. Right next to this dirty one, that's the one we're going to clean. And I do indeed have my slippers on because it's a horrible, dark, wet night. But we are going to have fun inside. And I missed you last week. I felt slightly bereft that I didn't see you. I did, of course, see my lovely sister and my family, and that was just fantastic. And it's one of the reasons why I love doing what I do, because it gives us the ability to grab the moment and go off and see family, which was super. But today we are back home. It's dark, a little miserable outside, I have to say. So it's perfect that we're in here and we're not anywhere else. And it's great to have you join me. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we're going to talk about this beast over here, right, which is our fire, which, as you can tell when I open it up, we have not had on at all this season. Look at that, stuff full of paper, ready for a chimney fire. No. So what we're going to do, though, is get it ready for winter. And just because you can see from the glass, it needs a little bit of extra work. But first of all, let's talk about what we used last week while I was away. Well, we did use a lot of the super new seasonal offers. I have to say, these, if you have these ones, I am completely in love with these mini gloves, or what someone has just called them, which I really loved, was eyelash cleaners. Because that's exactly what they do. They're fantastic at getting right underneath your eye because they haven't got a little seam on at all. And you can get 2 of these little beauties for £19. So that was my first absolute treat while we're away. What else did I use? I also used my living glove on the inside of the windscreen. That was fantastic at keeping it mist-free and just giving the inside of the car a wipe over. And my sister, who is on here tonight, knows exactly what I used this one for, because I hope none of you are eating, but just before we left very early in the morning, my eldest daughter was not very well upon the carpet, and I fortunately for my sister, an hour before we were leaving, so I had time to clean it up. But this glove came completely into its own. And you know what? Do you still have moments where you go, oh my goodness, Enyo is awesome? Well, if you had seen what I needed to clean up and then the difference that this made, I was just in awe that with water and a fibre, you can get even, projectile vomit, pardon, but it was, out of a carpet. And I knew it was out because the glove was rinsing clear. I think that's phenomenal. So I love having a little wow moment, and that was mine. And this glove, if you don't have it, get it into your arsenal of Enyo. It is second to none for removing stuff out of carpets. Red wine, poop, if I dare to say it, and vomit and real nasties. Straight out water. I know, it's unbelievable. Anyway, I digress, because we are going to talk about the main event tonight, which is the fire. But while I am getting all that ready, you can tell me what you've been using in your Enyo this week, if you have. And if you haven't, then Enyo is, if you don't know anything about it, it's all about how we can clean chemical-free around the home. What's the biggie about that? Because it gives us better health, it's better for the environment, it's better for your purse because you're going to spend less money. Right? You have amazing results. And if you could just use water, why wouldn't you? Why would you go out and put something in a plastic bottle that is a chemical if you could just do it with water? That's really the question. My sister says, do not show the before. Yes, you are right. We do not show you the before of the carpet because it was awful. I did share it with her, however. Right. So, talking about our fire then. Now, you can see that mine, if I bring you over here, is a bit of well, it's a bit of a monster actually. Look at that. It is giganticus, and it's also quite old. So it hasn't got all of its supersonic, you know, beautifully enamelled exterior anymore. And I'm actually going to bring this little herbet into use, which is the garage fibre. All right, but I tend to use this one for the car. Muddy pigs. Oh, and my mum continued doing her furniture that I started off last week. I only did a patch with the leather and wood balm. I'm glad that looks great. Muddy pigs. What did you use, Catherine? Did you use one of these, or did you use one of these? All right, love to know. Right, so back onto our fire. I can use my garage glove, and but I tend to keep that one for the car, but I do have a little one that I use on my stove. Now, if your stove was not very dirty, unlike mine, then you may find that your living glove is just completely adequate for this, and also just a damp dust during winter, your living soft cloth might also just be enough for that, because it just gets that layer of sooty dust all the time, doesn't it? Well, the whole of our room does, because that's what fires do. However well sealed they are, more dust, more ash, and so a damp duster on the top of this is really super. But I'm going to give mine a good clean tonight. This little one is usually £10, but you can get it. Oh, I bet your piggies were so happy, Catherine. You can get this one at the moment for £9. Okay, so that is in our festive pack, whatever season you want to say we're in, whether we're in autumn or if we've even got to Christmas. Just saying it quietly. Right, then the other thing that I'm going to use as well is my duster. So if you have a dust glove, you know it looks like this. These are £29. It's going to last you about 5 years. But you may choose to add another little dust vehicle into your duster collection. This is the dust pad. All right, that's in our seasonal offers. That's just £15. I love that one for the car, actually. And I really like it for my stove as well, because it gets in and around things. And you can also get, as you can see, little one here. So my kids really like to use this as well, because it's just perfect on their hands. Also £9, or guess what? You can get the two together. And if you do that, you get 2 for 16. Bargain. Right. So where would I start? Well, I'm going to start with the outside. And as you can see, I hope, I've got a little bit of ash down here. And I'm just going to use my kid's glove. I need to give it a little bit of a charge up. But I want to show you that you don't need to be afraid of your fire. All right. And this is great for cleaning up all of the soot. And it's going to stay stuck in my glove. So if you've got all of those sooty embers that fall out on your hearth, your dust glove is okay. Right? It's not going to get wrecked. And I'm going to dust all the way over the top. Let's just take you up here. Lovely. But those sooty embers, you'll need to remember, obviously, that your fire needs to be off, because otherwise it's going to melt your fibres. But even if it gets really black, it's all going to wash out. All right, so you don't need to worry. But that's part of the reason why I quite like to have a separate one, because I'm not going to wash this all the time. I'll use it around on my fire, and it will get quite rubby. And some of the soot is sometimes a little bit sticky, and so that will just mean that I can use this all the time on my fire, and I've still got my doing my dusting. Right, I look like I'm slightly out of sync, so apologies for yet again the internet alcohol. Right, so first of all, a good dust all the way over. Obviously, I'm going to dust this side, but this is just getting the worst of it, and there's always soot that falls out and fills the fireplace. So if I'm going to wash the outside of it, as I said, yeah, I'm sorry about the internet, everyone. You get the drift. Right, so if I have a little look at the outside of the fire, I've just got my garage glove I've made down here, and if I give that a good wash all the way over, because it's got all that sort of sooty dirt, as I said, I probably wouldn't do this all the time, but just at the beginning of the season, I give it a really good clean, and you can see the amount of that sooty dust that my glove is going to pick up for me. The rest of the time, I probably would use my Living Soft Cloth, or I would use my my medium strong glove. Hopefully you've got me back again now. So I'm using either this glove or my medium strong glove, but just to give a really good wash over for me, I love this little garage mitt. Okay. I'm not looking for high shine. What I'm looking for is just to get all of the dirt off it. Right. My goodness, it's never so good. Right, hopefully you're back with me now. So you can see that little glove is a fantastic way of being able to just, clean things off. I do like I'm still a little bit poor, but hopefully you're still with me. Right, so that's cleaning the outside of it. And then let's look at the inside as well. Okay, so let's get on to the glass here, because that's a bit that's really tricky, isn't it? About how we're going to clean that. Now I can start with my garage glove. And if I just clean all the way over, you'll see how much is already being lifted up by using that fibre. Like, this one is an amazing little fibre. I think sometimes we don't get enough use out of it. We tend to get this light red one, think about cars only or bikes, but it's great for some of these more grubby dogs. So I'm just going to put my other hand and turn it over. So you can see already how much that is lifting off the glass and all stuck in the fibre. Now, I hope that you're still with me. But I have things which are just that little bit deeper. And so what do I do about that? Well, that's where the fibre that Catherine was using on her bees is the one that we would utilise, and that's this one here. But I find that the glove is sometimes just a bit big for me to be able to do all of the glass in here, because it's got nooks and crannies. And so within our Christmas pack, this is plastic. Are you able to use this one here? That's usually 18, and the Enyophil, the outdoor Enyophil, which is 23, that's 41, but you can get them as part of our seasonal packs for 37. And this is the one that I'm now going to use on the glass. So if you don't have a lot of sediment, you'll probably find that that one is good. But I find mine's usually quite dirty by the time I'm at this stage. I don't do it all the time, so I've just wet my sponge. And then I can start on the glass. Now I have to tell you, this glass is quite old, so I'm holding out complete hope of transparency, but we're going to give it a go. So you can see already how much more has come up with the sponge. And then what I can also do is use my sponge and my marble paste for being that really clean. So I'm just going to spray that into my marble paste. Don't worry if it gets a bit dirty, you can just rinse it off underneath the tap. But here with my marble paste, you can see the glass and just where the tougher bits are, then I'm pushing hard. I'm just wanting the fibre to do work for me. As I said, I've got some bits which I know because the buyer was second-hand to us and also has been, well, in situ now and in the other person's house for years and years. Now, I'm not going to crystal clear, but you'll be able to get an idea of how much that's going to lift off. Now, I've got most of it off with that side. I'm not going to bother lifting it up with the other side of the fibre. I'm going to go straight for my Enyophil and keep that live over. Now, we have got here some sort of glue affair. Who knows what that is? But if I just take you outside again, and then you can have a really good look at how effective that is. Right. My goodness, it's properly clean. Right, let's have a little look. So from the before, right to now, I know I have a little bit dirty, but actually it's not even rough. It's embedded into the glass somehow. And then the outside, super clean and done really swiftly. The end of it is going to pick up all of that water-soluble soot that I've aggravated up with the sponge. And after using these, I would pop the whole lot into the washing machine. Okay, so I'm going to pop the sponge in as well. You're not hearing me well? Okay, I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm sorry from a really poor internet connection. I might do another video tomorrow and just pretend again. But you can see I have my glove here. Alright, so that's just using water and the fibre. That took off the worst of the soot, and that's the one also that I use to clean it. Okay, so you can see now the fire is all clean of all its dirt, which is fantastic. I'm going to use this one to do the glass because there wasn't a lot of dirt to start with, and then for those bits which are really stubborn, right, there's always bits which are more tricky to clean, then move on up to the sponge and layered sponge and marble paste. Okay, so that gives us a really good overview of how to look after our fire. But as the season goes on, we will be using it a bit. And actually, if you want to just grab the all-purpose cloth, give it a wipe over when it's cool, that's great. And if you want to just give it a dust, then I find that this one is really handy as well. Now, what about those bits which are also stuck on the half? So if I take you down here, right, our half is not sealed at all. Let me see if I can just take you down a little bitty. Okay, down about here. Right, so here, oh, you can't quite see. There you go. I think you might now to about here. I've got quite a big bit of dirt. And as I said, we have nothing that is sealed on our half. So if there's anything that is greasy dirt that gets into this, then that needs to come out again. So I'm going to use the glove Catherine used on her bees and just give the stones a wash. I have to say, one here, and that's it. All right, but that is going to bring up all of the dirt, and it's just going to be that the stones are ready for the beginning of the season, and they will be nice and clean. So I'm not doing anything else apart from bringing up the dirt with this side, and then finishing off by bringing up the aggravated dirt with the other side of the glove. If you have stones which are sealed, so if you have flagstones down that have got a layer of varnish over the top, then I would be using this glove here, my medium strong glove. Maybe give them a good clean with this and pick up the water soluble dirt with this side, or again you could do that with come little friend, with your garage glove and your Enyophil. So if you were giving all of your fire a really good go, then that would also work for you. Okay, so that's a really good little overview, isn't it? What were you saying, Christine? This week you've had a large range of old vinyl records. Dust fibre, absolutely brilliant. all the leather and the wood balm on the pygmy goats. Do you know what? The leather and wood balm on shoes for your ponies or for your horns for your goats, I bet they look amazing. I would love to see a picture, please, Karen, of your pygmy goats. Now, why am I not using this one on my fire? Because we tell you to use this one on glass. It's because of the type of dirt that we get on our fireplace. Really, it's usually, by the time we clean the glass, we need something that is just stronger. And that's why I'm using my outdoor fibres rather than using my indoor fibres. However, if you don't have any, then I would have it with this, because it's worth trying to have a clean with it, but the best fibres for your fireplace are going to be your outdoor fibres to keep it in tip-top condition. And what I love is that all these things that we're talking about are in our little seasonal guide, and that means that you can get them at a really good knockdown price for now, so that you can come into this world. And if you have maybe already got the garage set, but you're keen to add something else in for your fireplace, then this Winter Wizard that we have is a really good complement to that, and you may find that's just a perfect way of adding into your collection. So, what else do I need to remind you about? I need to remind you, actually, and it's what the lovely Catherine was just talking about, was about this, the Shine deal that we have. So I've been waiting for these to come home so that I can show you. So for £33 until the end of October, says she, looking a little short, unable to find such a thing. Oh, you know what, there we go. Right, so until the end of October, if you have any aspiration to get the leather and wood balm, now is the time. Because this little pot of beauty, which does pygmy goat horns as well as waterproofing my boots. My mum used it this week on her outdoor furniture. All of those things, amazing waterproofer, and just adds in and nourishes as well. This one's usually 28, but at the moment you get that and a polishing cloth and a little applicator pad for 33. So if you are waiting to add this one into your arsenal of Enyo, then now is the time, okay? Because you're not going to get such a good deal as you are now. That's available until the end of October. We also have all our other beautiful seasonal offers, and we will be talking more about these in the next weeks to come. But what I wanted to do, I'm just going to show you, it's so exciting. All these lovely little things. Look at this. I love a tin, as my daughter will, you know. Like little finger cleaning makeup brushes, all of those beautiful things that Enyo do so nicely. But what I wanted to do today was just really concentrate on this one element, so that before it gets wet, windy and horrible, you are all fit for winter. Right? And I promise you, because it's the beautiful way Enyo works, then your glass is going to stay clean for longer, which is brilliant, because it's not a job that we all love to do, clean the fireplace, but it's one that we need to do. And I like it because my hands are all clean, and I'm not covered in a load of soot, and the fibres go in the wash, and job done. So that is all well. So I did allude also to this one as my little living cloth. As I was saying, you could wipe over your fireplace going forward with that. But I think if you had that little collection there, then that is going to see you really well through winter. So what else is new? Well, what I do want to tell you is that I have a VIP group on Facebook, and if you are someone who uses Enyo and not part of that, then you might choose to join, because I run specials in my group as well, and it's where I make some special announcements on Enyo. So if you are keen to hear a little bit more about Enyo, and if you would like to be part of my closed group, then please get in touch anytime, and I can send you the link and pop you into that. That would be great. I hope that you are all having a really good October. And if you're on October break with your kids, then I hope that you're having some fun in that as well, enjoying some times with them. And if you are yet to go and jump somewhere and go on holiday, then I hope you have a really good time too. And maybe you're just going to pop a little bit of Enyo in with you, and I'll be really interested to hear what you take on holiday when you go away. What is your must-have Enyo? So for me, one of these, and also what I used a lot this week was one of these. All right, so that's our soft skin mop, and at the moment you can get it with this great hand towel. All right, which I really like. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the weeks to come. But these ones all available at the moment in our Supersonic seasonal offer. If you haven't got this one, then the link is on our main enyo.co.uk page. All those items will be available until the end of the year. Right, I know that my internet connection is leaving a little bit to be desired tonight, so apologies for that, and thank you for battling through with me. Hopefully you have enough to see how you're going to keep your fire in tip-top condition, and I really look forward to spending next Monday with you, where I'll be back and we'll be looking at some more Enyo in action. Thank you again, everyone. I hope you have a really good week. Bless you,